When I got my first tattoo, a lot of people thought that I'd regret it. Like, woo, a papa man, you know, type thing. And I guess also because it was a shooting star, which is somewhat of a common thing to tattoo onto your body. They thought it was just like a trend thing. Every single one has a story. So regardless of the fact that people around me thought it was just, oh, so jala no na tattoo, you know, now so fumasi fashionini. It was, I think, the beginning of a new way to express myself.
I've always been very idealistic about love. And I used to write mostly only about love. That's when like the kind of poetry I wrote about. And as I grew older and you know your mind, your view, your experiences become a lot more vast. I experienced a lot more things besides just like idealistic stuff that I'd only read about in books. Because it's better to be grounded in reality than this like idea of what things should be like. All the white generation people, like when they meet you or whatever, and you're a younger person of color, it's almost like they want to hear that you're doing something like memorable with your life, or like, you know, keep treading in the right direction, making the right steps, because you know you never know when you're going to get pushed out. And I'd rather just push myself out. Thank you. The more tattoos I got, the more and more I started looking like I was probably like, oh, you dropped out of varsity, you got all these tattoos, and you're a female, oh, you would look so pretty without the tattoos. Why did you cut your hair short? You know, oh, you know, the tattoos make you look so hard. What are you compensating for? Has life really like been hard for you? You know, do you smoke like lots of weed? Do you do drugs? Are you degenerate type of thing, delinquent? I think my mother thought I was going off the rails, but that was long before I started getting the tattoos to begin with. Every time I get a new tattoo, I can see like the disgust. She doesn't like it at all. I'm not somebody who is going to just fall into what you want me to be. And if that means that you are offended by the sight of me and you don't want to engage with me after that, then so be it. If I don't get a certain job because I'm full of tattoos, well then that job wasn't for me anyways. People will sit next to me in the taxi and maybe like move a few seats away, especially because I'm colored with tattoos. Yeah.
In society, people feel like they have a claim to your body as a black woman, so they reach out and they touch you, or they want to stroke your tattoos, and they think that they're doing it in an affectionate way, but they don't realize that a random stranger touching your body it's extremely invasive. A lot of people make assumptions about women who have tattoos, and black women as well who have tattoos. They think that I'm, I don't know, a slut or a whore, or I'm easy, or I'm a prostitute. Once you respond to that, people go, oh no, but I just want to, it's really pretty. You only get tattoos to be looked at, don't you? And it's not about that. Being a black woman is a rebellion in and of itself, because the world's just constantly against us. So me choosing to do with my body what I want is me taking back the power for my own lived body, and I get to exercise the autonomy of my own body, and that's very powerful to me. 2 years ago when I got the tree, my dad sat me down and he said, listen, there's certain assumptions that people make about a woman with tattoos, and I know that that isn't you, but you need to understand that this is the way the world is. And I find that that's a huge issue, because instead of saying, hey, go out and change the world by being yourself, he's saying, change who you are because the world isn't going to. And I think that's a terrible message to send as a young black woman trying to navigate through the space that was never made for me. Hearing something like that is very, it's disheartening, and it's disappointing to hear from a parental figure.
My mom says I'm gonna rot. That's a church thing. And it's pretty cool actually, because I called her before we came here and told her we were coming to get a tattoo. It's not even it's more of a stop wasting money, give us that money, than don't do it, because I think she's but she's like accepted that I gave birth to 5 children and this one child of mine, I'm just 3. So I'm that child. My son saw the galaxy on my leg for the first time this morning. He's like, that's new. I haven't seen that before. So he also knows my tattoos, which is pretty cool. And I brought him here because I don't like hiding things from my child, And also I want to be the first person involved in introduction of things as being brilliant.
What happened?
They tried to rob us back then.
What?
What about Monaheng? Thank God I was home. So then I took the number plate, then we went there.
Went where?
Like those guys.
And then what?
Then we went to go tell them shit. Like, hey, have a go every time. Then my father was like, yo, come down. But
Are you serious? You literally just went and...
Yeah. No, I gotta go.
You don't know if those niggas are carrying guns.
I told you, when I'm angry,
there's nothing.
I see red. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. Go par. Go away. Like, that's just how it is. The last time I did that shit was this last year. Yeah. And I wanted to call the cops. I was like,
You wanted to call the cops on you?
Yeah.
On Saturday, I'm getting more tattoos.
So I'm Zulu. Yeah. I'm Zulu, right? I'm Zulu. Mother tongue, okay?
I am filling up my left arm and we'll probably start on my right as well.
Mama, how Zulu? Yeah, Zulu, mother tongue.
The Laxman Zulu la. Why John
I'm getting my mother's name in between my grandfather's name, which is like really significant to who I am. His name is Africa.
I need laugh for like look at that.
That's what I was saying to him. If xenophobia had to come first, number 1.
Up my microphone, finish off the cord, which plugs into my veins, meaning that it pumps straight from me. All my music comes straight from me, and probably a sunflower to show the brightness in my life.
I've always wanted tattoos. I'd speak with my friends and I think they thought I'd get small tattoos all my life, but in my head I'd always visualize myself being completely covered in tattoos. There's just been this one time where catching a cab and this random guy was just like, yo, mfazo itsotsi. Basically in the gangster community, when a top dog has a girlfriend, he tags his girlfriend. In my head, I'd like to think the guy thought this is either my boyfriend's name or the gang, or and it's got nothing to do with that. This just reminded me of something. I went into a cab one day after I got this one. The lady sitting next to me, she was like,
Yo, I died because it had so like it was so fresh. It was very good. Tattoo I can't do.
It was the too.
Lego, mommy.
Like yo, Kululega for real. Oh, this is Zulu, ne?
Iman.
Samkaga.
Iman. Yakho no khuluma man.
When I'm walking in the street, like, men will usually be like, "Hi girlie with the tattoos," or "I like your ink," or "nice chappies," or "where did you get those," or "how much did they cost?" Or they'll make derogatory comments like, "I wouldn't date a girl with thigh tattoos." Yeah, they see it as both repulsive and also extremely, I guess, sexual, because I've decided to adorn parts of the body that a lot of women don't adorn. It becomes immediately, it has sort of a promiscuous angle to it. And specifically, colored women are seen as being very promiscuous, very loud, very aggressive women, when you think of stereotypes. A lot of women are like that because of the experiences that they have to endure and the kind of people they have to sort of get by. I think that I've become very aggressive because I know men don't take me seriously. And not only that, like, my personal space isn't respected, because why would it be? I'm a girl that goes to go get things put on her body to make her look more sexual. For example, I was walking down Long Street in shorts this summer, and this man stopped his car. I was walking, minding my business. This man stopped, literally said, "How much?" Trying to imply that I was obviously dabbling in sex work, and I told him to fuck off. But because I choose to have tattoos and because I'm colored, there must be some sort of other connotation to it. Yeah, that's not the first time it's happened too. Yeah, like I said, the placement that I've chosen is beautiful to me, but to other people, it just makes me seem like I'm a gang lord's wife, because I've been asked that. I've been followed in stores. I've had people see me walk down the street and crouch down as I walk past and then ask me, "Naman, can you stand still? I just want to see what they look like." I have had men try to lift up my skirt to read the back of my thigh. I've had children come up to me and touch me and see if they were real. So yeah, my body isn't respected if I expose my tattoos. It's not respected in general, but there seems to be an added layer of disappointment and judgment and let's humiliate her because we can. It also doesn't help that I'm short, so people immediately think they have that physical advantage over me. And older people, the ones who don't really think that body modifications are something that young women should get, often ask me, "Who's gonna marry you when you look like that? Are you gonna look in a wedding dress?" And I don't really care about those kinds of things, and I think I would look beautiful regardless. For me, a lot of people have kind of started to say, "Oh well, you know, Alex is like that, you know, she just wants to be different," when it's just a culture, subculture that I like am part of, and I don't know why I need to be looked at like I'm some sort of thief or criminal, you know. When speaking to friends or people that I don't know, they usually say, "Yeah, my mom always told me like I mustn't come home with tattoos or I mustn't come home with piercings," and for a long time that affected me, and now it just doesn't. I'm too old. So yeah.
People will shout from their taxis, "Ooh, sis mahosha," or they'll say, "Ooh, satanism." People will spit at your feet as you pass by. Black women will, make these disgusted faces at you. People will say, "Don't you have parents?" I don't know what someone shouting in the street so brazenly, calling me umahosha, I don't know what their physical move will be. It's never been part of how I move in life for me to kind of minimize myself and to, okay, let me wear jeans because I know I have to walk past Noord or I'm walking to Noord or whatever. I've never ever done that. If I want to wear the shortest shorts I own, I do so because I'm not going to burn in this hot Joburg sun so that men don't harass me. I'm not going to put myself through the discomfort of burning. Damn, so. I had a meltdown one day when my earphones were stolen because I'm like, how am I going to navigate Joburg without earphones? Like how? There will always be insults and screams and shouts. You'll always be grabbed at as you walk past. And the thing with earphones is that you get to block it out and you get to your destination without having to hear all of it. When people want to either go the Mahosha route or the Satanism route, I can understand it. I get where those perceptions come from, but it's like, why is your perception now my problem? So yeah, what else?